Hey there, it's Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto in Japan, and we're looking at a 2009 Subaru Forester 5-speed manual transmission and EJ20 engine. It's a 2-liter boxer engine with turbo and intercooler. Now in this case, I think it puts out somewhere around 220 horsepower for the Forester. But Forester with a manual transmission has my heart. I love the fact that you could get these with the manual transmission and the turbo. And so this is going to be a post-purchase inspection video. We'll check the condition of the car, compare it to the auction inspection sheet. As you can see, the engine runs nice and well for this one. Give a little rev for you so you can hear it. Okay. Turn that off for the rest of the report. And yeah, the engine runs well. I've had really good experience with these EJ20s. Every time I talk about how reliable the Subarus are, I always hear, well, they blow head gaskets all the time. My understanding is the 2.5s have a little bit of a design problem. The 2-liters don't have the same problem, and I have never, in several hundred exports of this engine, either the Impreza, Legacy, or the Forester, had any issues with head gaskets. There are some issues with piston slap for exclusively 1997 and 1998, but I haven't seen that in any other generation of them. And not only have we exported like several hundred of these engines, but we also translate a lot of auction sheets, and you get to have a good idea about what kind of vehicles have common issues. Like, for example, if it's a Silvia, it's going to have rusty strut towers, or if it's a Lancer Evolution, rust is a problem. When head gaskets are a problem on cars, we tend to see them noted on the sheets, and Subarus don't really have an issue, at least here in Japan. Outside of Japan, anyone's guess, I suppose. That said, I've been very happy with Subarus in general. One of my favorite car brands. Reliable, decent build quality, and just good overall cars. Okay, so let's have a look at the auction inspection sheet, and that gives us an idea of the condition. So first off, I'm going to translate this for you. It comes from 2009. It's a Forester 2.0 XT. An SH5 is the chassis code for it. This is an auction grade 3.5 with an interior B, and that seems about suitable for this car. 5-seater, 102,051 kilometers, 5-speed manual, comes with warranty papers and owner's manual. The sales points from the seller here say aftermarket shift knob. It has an STI logo on it. What is this? Roof carrier, or roof carrier base, it says, and it's Thule brand. Original wheels and winter tires are inside the car, but the winter tires are now 10 years old, so they're not really usable. And actually, the tires that are on it right here are 9 years old, and they don't have the proper marks for Canada, which is where this one's going. So going to need some new tires. Exterior has paint peeling in some places, and various small scratches and dents. And then scratches, dirty, and wear on the interior. It says A2 on the front, plus P for bad paint. And then it has B1, A1, and B1. I couldn't really find any large areas of damage. There is some scratches around the door handles, but that's about it. And then the back bumper says A1. So all these markings, if you don't understand them, there's a link in the description to our website, and there's a page on our website that explains it all. Okay, so let's take you for a tour around it so you can see it from all the different sides. We want to make sure that when you get the vehicle, you understand the condition, as well as if you were here seeing the car for yourself. I think overall I'd be pretty happy with this car if I were to get it. I think the Forester is a great value for money. I think it's a very good all-around car that you can drive in the winter, you can drive it in the summer. It has sports car underpinnings. This is basically on the same platform as the Impreza/Legacy. It is more of a, off-road style. I wouldn't say that the capability is anything different than the Impreza, other than maybe a little bit more ride height will give you a bit more clearance. But, the Impreza has roots as being a rally car. Man, this is loud. I feel like I'm eating cereal while I'm speaking. And this is, I don't know how many of these SH5s we've been exporting. We mostly like the SF5 and the SG5. We have exported tons of those. This one is just newly legal for Canada under the 15-year import rule. And so it's one of the first ones. And usually once the car reaches its legality for Canada, we start selling them like crazy. And then when they become 25 years old, of course, we sell a lot to the US as well. So details here. The car comes with an aftermarket grille, and whoever painted the aftermarket grille probably didn't pass painting school, or his boss is telling him to cheap out on it. It has peeled pretty badly, and it doesn't have a perfect color match either. So luckily, this one did come with the OEM grille in good condition that we can swap on for you before exports if you want. It's in a box like that. It also comes with the original shift knob and original start button. The start button's been changed to an STI one. You may have seen that when I was turning the car off. So there is that. There's also peeling on the original hood scoop. And yes, that is a functional intercooler feeding hood scoop. It's kind of funny. The non-turbo Imprezas in the USA got the hood scoops. And then it was for nothing. Kind of funny. Headlights are a little bit yellow, but the front face of it is actually in pretty good condition. As you can see, there's not a lot of damage. There is some fade on it. If you look closely, right here underneath the headlights, some fade. And then it continues along here, so there's some like right here as well. Then it has a fender mirror. This gives you good visibility for parking. Makes it so that you can very closely see what is near your tire here. It's very nice. And I must say, I do like these Foresters. I like the shape of them. And they fit into a good segment. People love crossovers, and the Forester is kind of like the OG crossover, isn't it? No scratches or dents really along there, other than the aforementioned scratches around the door handles. And every one of the door handles has these. If you look above there, you can see a set of scratches. And some of these you're going to be able to polish out. I recommend getting a shop to do it so that they can measure the paint before they try, because Subaru paint tends to be a little bit on the shallow side, so there's not a lot that you can cut down, and it'd be good to know how much you have before you start polishing. Of course, you can do that yourself if you have a paint measurer or if you're brave, but I think it could look worse if you burn the paint off trying to get those scratches out. Okay, now the car comes with this piece of plastic here from the factory, and the point of it, it's supposed to be completely clear, but over time they like get cloudy and then they crack. This protects this area from rocks that are kicked up from the front wheel, and a lot of cars have these. It's not just this car. Like 911s have them from the factory, and several others. Because it's all cracking, you probably just want to peel that off and just leave it exposed, or you can replicate it yourself just by tracing this. Basically put a piece of paper on here and just do that like crepe paper type thing where you just go like that with a pencil, and it'll trace the outline, and you can cut it onto a sheet. You can put your sheet back on if that's what you want. Probably a couple of hours to do that. Okay. And this used to have some sort of a radio, like a CB radio installed, because they screw in like here and here. It's kind of damaged the paint a little bit. Okay, and the rear spoiler has some paint peeling. Okay, it's on both corners, this one over here, as well as this one over here. Roof racks are missing the end caps here, but Thule is a nice brand, and they look like good bars. Okay, and there's nothing else to say about the body. The rest looks good. There's no... Oh, I just noticed something for the first time. I didn't see this before, but there's a little dent there. And that kind of coincides with what you would expect from a U1 dent, as the option sheet mentioned. It's just going to be a little bit more visible because it's on the body line right there. Look at my cereal. Okay, fog lights looking good. Headlights just a little bit yellow. You can polish those to get the yellow out if you want. Look at that. It has windshield washer heaters. Do you see this orange next to it? Warms it up so that they de-ice. Very cool. Subaru's been doing that for a while. Okay, to the interior. So the Forester and the Legacy are pretty... Where's that latch? There it is. Pretty similar in terms of what you get. The Legacy is longer, but less tall. But trunk space is about the same between the two of them. This one just isn't as deep, but you can stack stuff higher. Pretty clean in here, just needs a vacuum. Doesn't really have stains or anything. Has a button here that you can flip down the seat, which is pretty nice. Let's try that. Wow, that was fast. Okay, now I'm just going to pull that back up. Okay, tie down straps, hooks right there and right here. And also has a hook here that you can hang stuff on. Cigarette lighter adapter in the back. And it has a tonneau cover that goes across there to hide all the things in the back. It's just slotted away in here. Okay, underneath has the spare tire. It's a space saver spare, so it's smaller than your regular one. And no signs of any damage in the back. Into the back seats now. And with every generation of Subaru, you get just a little bit more in terms of leg room. This one, completely usable for adults, no issue whatsoever. And I do really dig these seats. The rear seats and the front seats have the same design pattern on them. They're a black synthetic with orange stripes in these threads. It's quite nice looking. There's a flip down pillow here for your kids to rest on. There's also a flip up cup holder right there, and a little tray and a little slot to put your things. There's a button here that you can set the recline of the back seats into 3 or 4 different settings. Headliner has a splash of somebody's drink up here, maybe carrot juice. Doesn't look like it'd be hard to get out. Oh, and the driver was probably female. Not trying to make any assumptions, but they usually are when that's set to the bottom setting. One owner, female owned, driven to church only. Nobody drives to church in Japan. There's almost no churches here. Okay, power windows all work fine. Opening the door is good. Door card, great condition. Okay. Seats. Subaru knows how to do seats. I don't think that I have ever sat in a Subaru and thought, I don't like the seats in this. I pretty much like them all. Of course, they do get better than this with the Impreza, but these are a very good, decent seat for what is otherwise a crossover vehicle. Just a cool one with the 5-speed manual and the turbo. See, that's what all the crossovers seem to be missing, is a little bit of sporting feeling. And I'm sure you can get some crossovers with turbos, not so much 5-speed manuals, but turbos nowadays. They're not going to feel as good as this. The EJ20, not a perfect engine, but boy, does it feel good to drive. Okay, STI button has been swapped in. You also have power folding mirrors and headlight, gauge set brightness dial. Traction control off button. You have cruise control on the steering wheel. The steering wheel has a little bit of wear on the plastic here. I'm not sure why, but Subarus tend to wear out there. You turn on this and you watch the gauges do a little dance thing. And I think that's cool. AC is working fine. Power steering is working fine. Shifting is good. I will say that the clutch, still usable. Get that to stop beeping. The clutch is still usable, but it's on the way out. The engagement point is right down near the floor, probably about 2 centimeters away from the floor. Right there. And as a result, it's a little annoying to drive. You can absolutely get used to it, but it's only a matter of time before you're going to have to do that clutch. Which for 100,000 kilometers, like is on this one, that's not the worst, but it is a little bit faster than normal for clutch to wear out 100,000 clicks. Okay, the bushings in here are nice and tight, which is good. A lot of times Subarus get floppy. You also have some different settings here: Sport, Sport Sharp, and Intelligent. I'm not too sure what they do. And then heated seats left and right here with multiple different temperatures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Double cup holder. My keys. Comes with 2 keys. Those rectangles are the keys for it. The lock key is there for the wheels. And let's see, this opens up to offer you a little tray. You can take the tray out to get another cigarette lighter adapter and an auxiliary wire for radio. Okay, you also have cigarette lighter adapter there. Let's just turn this off for now. And the inside needs to be vacuumed, but there's no bad smells in here, and overall it gives a nice clean feeling. Okay, so that's going to be all for this Forester. Hope you enjoyed the video. These 5-speed Foresters, gotta love them. That's all for this one. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.